Turkey's military operation in Syria is underway. This comes 3 days after President Trump ordered U.S. troops to withdraw. Turkey's president announced the start of the operation this morning, saying he planned to, quote, eliminate the threat of terrorism in the country. Meanwhile, American lawmakers and Christian leaders are calling on the church to pray for the Kurds, longtime U.S. allies in the region. Senator Lindsey Graham tweeted, quote, pray for our Kurdish allies who have been shamelessly abandoned by the Trump administration. He added this move ensures the re-emergence of ISIS. And joining us now is Middle East Bureau Chief Chris Mitchell. Chris, what are you hearing from the Turkish point of view? How do they see this?
Well, I think that's a very important point of view to understand, Wendy. Many of them see this as a jihad. There was something in a pro-AKP, which is the party of President Erdogan, that said that the army of Mohammed is coming after the unbelievers. So they say this as a jihad, which actually sadly puts the U.S. in the position of actually enabling a jihad. U.S. forces had pulled out of some of that region, not totally, but to allow this invasion. And they're bombing some Christian villages. I was just hearing from somebody that we met in Kobani, which is right on the Turkish border, that they are hearing the bombing. And actually, they understand that the Turkish government has shut off phones in that region. So they really have very little way to get out to the outside world.
Chris, Senator Lindsey Graham says this move ensures the reemergence of ISIS. Do you agree with that?
I do. You know, what the Syrian Democratic Forces have been saying is that they can't do both. They can't both fight Turkey and actually maintain the thousands of prisoners they have in captivity. Now, President Trump just put out a tweet that said, or a statement that said, Turkey's going to take care of the ISIS prisoners. Though many of those prisoners are not even close to the Syrian border. So the Syrian Democratic Forces said they may send them to Iraq, which will reignite this whole battle against ISIS.
Now, President Trump says he's going to somehow protect the Kurds. How do you do that if Turkey's coming in with tanks and bullets?
I just don't know how you do that, Wendy. It just seems counterintuitive. You know, Turkey is bombing these Christian villages coming in and yet protecting them. And it also puts the U.S. troops in the region very close to this fighting in the awkward position of actually watching what many people consider war crimes. I mean, Turkey hasn't been invaded. They haven't been fought by the Kurdish forces there or the Syrian Democratic Forces, and yet Turkey's coming against them. So the U.S. troops are in this awful position of being close, but literally witnessing what can be defined as war crimes by some.
Chris, tell us about the new prayer initiative for the Kurds. A lot of people saying we've got to pray right now.
Right. It's called prayforthekurds.org. It's a one-night event, October 27th in Washington, D.C. You can go to the website right now, but actually you don't need to wait till October 27th. It's important to pray for the Kurds and all of the people in northeast Syria right now who are in great peril at this time.
And Chris, of course, you're there in Jerusalem. What does this mean for Israel?
It puts Israel in peril as well, because if the Turkey comes in and if events unfold, which perhaps allow the Iranians to come in to that part of northeast Syria, that's going to put them that much closer to Israel. Their goal is to have a land bridge from Tehran all the way to the Mediterranean. So potentially this is a great, great danger to Israel as well.
And I know today everything is shut down there. It's Yom Kippur. So we wish you, it's not happy Yom Kippur, but I believe it's called a good ending.
That's right.
A good ending.
You have a good fast, and also may your name be inscribed in the book. That's what people are saying right now.
All right, beautiful. Chris, great to talk with you. Thanks so much for your